Last week on the channel, we did a free paint job. This week, we're giving away a free welder. So if you want a chance to win this welder for your project, sit tight, stay tuned, and let's jump right in. All right, so we had this company reach out to us wanting us to give their product a try, and I said, have at it. Bestarc Welders is the company. So they sent me an option for a plasma cutter or the welder. So if you slightly like this, you might want to go check out their listings, possibly look into their plasma cutter, but everything that you're going to need to know is going to be in the description below. So diving right into this machine, before we turn it on, we're going to get it set up. Now they have sent us, let's see here, flux-core wire shielded. Both of these look to be shielded. This machine does come with the hose, so that is nice. So if you want to set yourself up where you can weld on gas, which I highly recommend, I would. However, for this demonstration, we are not going to be welding on gas. We're going to use what they sent us. That way I don't have to switch over the wire and all that stuff out of my other machines. That's the only reason why. So on the front of this, the instructions on page 9, it's going to show you the different settings. Now this machine will do the TIG. It will do scratch TIG, I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be, or lift TIG. It will do the stick welding. And then what a lot of you guys are going to be using is going to be the traditional MIG. That's what we're going to be using. Now this will do the 110 and the 220, or 120, 240, however you want to call it. This is your converter. So if you're not going to be using the 220, 240 option, and you want to use your standard 110 house socket versus a washer and dryer plug, then you would use this. The machine comes with the washer and dryer plug on it, so all you would do, and I guess we can give this a go this morning so I don't have to undo my other one, is just plug that in like that, and then you're good to go. Now it's going to show us to use the gasless flux welding option. We're going to connect our center wire right here. Okay, you have negative on this side and positive on this side. It shows that we're going to want to use this adapter to the negative socket. Now that is one thing I like about these newer welders, is all of them you just do the changes right on the front, whereas the one that I use on this channel all the time is older Harbor Freight, Central or Chicago Electric, whatever. You have to actually open it up and change the wires around, which is super easy on that one too, but this is pretty nice that it's right there on the front to change it. The grounding clamp on this one, being we are using again the flux wire with the shielded wire with the MIG, this is gonna go into the positive. So your ground's gonna actually go into the positive to do this. All right, so we got all that hooked up, and we should be good to go. It goes over everything else, like I said. If you're going to be using the lift start TIG and the stick welder and all that, it shows you on page 9 all your settings. Now they send you 2 different spools of wire. Okay, one's going to be 1.0 millimeter, another is going to be 0.8 millimeter. They're going to send you 3 different tips to get started. Okay, a 0.8, 0.9, and a 1.0. They send you this little tool right here, which looks like this guy is going to be for taking out your tip on the end. So if we open the end of this up, normally these either pull off or twist off. Looks like this one just pulls off. All right, this is the first company that I have seen send one of these actually. So looks like we just found the correct size, which actually none of them fit. Yeah, so the tool they sent us does not fit the end pieces. Well, like I said, that's the first time I've ever seen a company send a tool. So the one that comes in there is the 1.0. I think we'll start with the smaller wire, which is going to be the 0.8. So we're going to want to change out our tip to the 0.8. It's going to be wrote, I know you can't see that, but right here near the threads on your tip is going to be the size wrote on the tips. You'll just screw that in, and we'll probably take that back out here in a second to put the wire on. And then, like I showed you, your cap on the inside does not have, I know you can't see it, but it doesn't have any threads or anything. It just basically pushes on, but sometimes it helps a little bit to twist it to get it on. This right here looks like this is going to be Teflon tape. So if you're doing your gas setup, all right, if you're gonna be welding with the gas, You could put some Teflon tape on the connections. Well, let's open this thing up. On the side of this thing, on both sides, you can see there's going to be a clamp. So there's going to be a clamp on that side, there's going to be a clamp on the other side, and then it's going to flip up. We're going to see right here that there's actually going to be a piece that twists off, okay? We're going to unscrew this, open this up, and this should pull off, and that is going to expose our wheel. Now, here's a better shot of the 0.8 and the 1.0 roller. This one is, if I can get it to zoom in, this one is grooved on the inside of it, okay? And this one's also going to be grooved. So they're both going to be grooved. Let's see here, 0.830. Let's see if we can see a difference in these real fast. 0.8. So it looks like they're the same size, just branded different. They look the same. All right, trying to see if I see a difference. I don't. 0, 8, and 1. Okay, so if you're going to be using your welding wire that is size 1 or 0.8, you're going to need to match it up. The one that you're using is going to be up top, so we're going to start with the 8. All right, so we're going to put that in. It should just go on just like that, and then we're going to need to get ready to feed in our wire. Now this piece needs to go back on before you load your wire in. Then we're going to simply come right here and you'll twist this off. We'll open our wire up and we will load our wire in. So we're going to grab the 0.8. We're going to open it up. Let's go ahead and put some tension on it because it will just want to unspool. This thing literally looks pretty much identical of the red unit. I'm not going to mention the name. If you go back to my playlist of the reviews I've done on this channel, this literally looks like the exact same thing. And we want to tighten this piece down and put a little bit of tension on it. Okay, we've got the wire between the rollers. So I've never seen that, a feed wire button. That is actually cool. Let's get this thing plugged in and test that out, because normally if you're on the gas, then you have to hit the trigger of the welder and that burns your gas off, or you have to cut the gas off. So if this little button right here just allows the wire to feed through, then that's actually kind of cool that I've never seen. Let me know in the comment section if that is standard on a lot of stuff. It's on the rear. Wow, that's kind of a cool little display. All right, so it comes right on. Let's get our wire fed through there. I'm kind of excited about this. Wow, that literally works. And what's cool about that is you don't have to mess with your settings. You don't have to turn the speed up or nothing to get this to feed fast. A lot of times on welders, you have to turn the speed up or it's gonna go slow if that's what you're set on. But this one looks like it just runs it wide open at the speed. Now, a lot of times you have to take your tip off though to get it to come out the end. And to be safe, we're just gonna go ahead and take the little screw and tip out also. It should come out here in a second. It's pretty cool. Comes right out. I like that feature a lot, actually. Man, these little welders would really have me sold if they provided the smaller wire size. Put our piece back on. So on here, we're going to be looking right here. It's going to say MIG, TIG, or MMA. The MMA right here is going to actually be stick. So that's what it stands for. It shows right here in the book, okay, that MMA means stick. All right, so we are on MIG, not TIG, but if you push this button right here, that's going to change it to TIG, and then MMA, which is going to be stick. So we're going to stay on MIG, and then also up here up top, this is going to be the gas and the gasless. So we're going to be on gasless, so we're going to push that one. The 2T and 4T, I'm pretty sure that is going to be for TIG welding. In the book, it shows you how to also connect the gas and all of that. So it goes over all the different settings that you're going to need to know. So in TIG and MIG mode, the fan stops running when the machine is not working and the radiator is not hot. The fan will keep running in stick mode. 2T is press, switch, torch, working. Stop, pressing, switch, torch, stop, working. That's what it says for 2T. 4T is press, switch, torch, working. Stop, pressing, switch, torch, still working. Press, torch, switch, again, torch, stop, working. I hope you understand what that means. We're just gonna be doing MIG. It looks like up top, all of that changes. Both of them change the voltage and the amperage, it looks like. We're gonna crank this thing down as low as it goes because we're gonna, right out the gate, put this thing on some sheet metal and see what it will do. Wire size is down here, so there's a button hid underneath the piece. We are on 0.30. It goes on the front of the screen. It does have a 0.30, 0.35, and 0.40. Now again, just like previous welder I reviewed, the 0.40, I would like to see replaced with the 0.23. All right, now for me, being I'm working on a fabrication table, this is all steel. So anything that's sitting on the table is conductive of electricity. So we are gonna take our grounding clamp and we are literally just going to hook it to the side of the table. So now that I have my grounding clamp hooked to the side of the table over here, this whole entire table is grounded. That means that if I pull the trigger on this table, it's gonna spark and build a weld. So any metal that we sit on this table will be able to be welded. Now we've got some pretty thin sheet metal here, 2 pieces. I want to just give this a go. Let's put some aluminum down underneath it. Go get another piece. Again, if you were not working on a fab table and you were just working on whatever, you gotta make sure your grounding clamp is clamped to the material you're working on to ground it. But me, as long as I have metal, this piece of aluminum on the table, everything is grounded. We're not even gonna clean this metal up. We're just gonna give it a go. Okay, so that is way too slow. So let's go ahead and crank this thing up to, let's try 60. We're still nowhere near. Let's bump this thing up to 70. Starting to get somewhere. I definitely do not miss flux welding, I can tell you that. Let's bump this thing to 80. Well, let's crank it a little hotter. It's still kind of sitting on top. Let's go up to 90. It's not terrible. I hate flux welding, but let's see how high would this thing go? 125. Let's crank this thing to max 125. So 125 is actually decently hot. I just really hate flux welding, but it welds. We're gonna have to grab some thicker stuff. See how this does. Let's see if we can play around with this for a minute. Let's go back to 100. Normally when you're welding sheet metal like this together, you just do a bunch of tacks. You don't really flow. so not terrible for flux core right out the gate. See our front side. All right, flux again is not pretty stuff. If you did this on gas, it would be way prettier. I just don't want to hook the gas up. You see the back side, got full penetration, nice heat. All right, let's see if we can break it. Oh, she's hot, son. All right, so that's definitely bent. I bent that, so that's not bad at all. I mean, for the back, it's not even 100%. I mean, that was just crazy. Wow. Yeah, I'm completely bending that. So, I mean, that works. See if we got something thicker. These two, this rusty pipe stuff, let's give it a go. Let's go ahead and crank this thing up to max though, because this stuff is pretty rusty, dirty, nasty. We're just gonna weld two of these together. This one is completely disgusting. Might be a little too, the wire speed's fast. That's the only thing when these machines that auto adjust it for you, we can't turn the wire speed down and the heat. Like my big one, I can adjust all that. It seems so aggressive and so angry because it's kind of just putting out a lot of wire. Let's go down to 90. Still just throwing out so much. Go down to 80. It's kind of sitting on top, but this is really dirty metal. Not terrible. Let's try to weld this gap up. See that gap? So did it weld the gap? Absolutely. You're gonna have to play around with this. The welds definitely do not look my greatest. This is me playing around with it. Metal's not clean. I'm putting this machine through the test of the worst case scenario. You can see the welds look a lot better over here where they actually start to stack. So that's where I clean it up. You should always clean your metal. You should never weld over rusty metal like this. This is absolutely terrible. But I wanted to put this machine through the ringers on something that can matter. Let's take the wire brush and let's clean this up a little right here and see what it looks like when we weld that. I think what a lot of people do when they're doing these reviews is they take these machines and they put them under the best situation possible. They put them under the cleanest metal possible, all that, and they make them look really good, and it's kind of a false review. So what I like to do is kind of totally opposite of what everybody else does, and I like to just take these machines straight out the box, put them on flux core, put them on really nasty metal, like put them in the absolute worst situation as can, 110 out the wall, okay? That's gonna be the exact same thing as if you're running a drop cord into your yard and you don't have 220 power. This setup right here is gonna be more close to your average DIY guy than if we put this thing on gas, if we put this thing on a good wire, if we put this thing on 220 volts. That's gonna be way better results, but I wanna see what results this machine will give us under terrible situations. Here's my other MIG welder. All right, this is what I normally weld. This is gas. gas and flux core is gonna be totally different. So we have a clean open side on this one. Let's see what I can do with this. Look how dirty the nozzle is just from welding all that dirty material. So keep your nozzle clean. They also do make a product, we'll go ahead and treat this one real fast, that keeps your nozzle clean. Anti-splatter, all right, nozzle dip. This is by ProStar. All this is you open it up and you literally just dip the nozzle in it like this. You can do it when it's warm. I stick mine down in there. Some people don't do all of that. Definitely makes the wire a little dirty at first, but it burns right off quick. That's gonna help the splatter not build up on the tip. Okay, so that was definitely hot. But that was cleaner metal. Okay, let's see what we got. All right. So this was my first side with all the nasty splatter. All right, the anti-splatter, if you can see that in it. And then as the nozzle got cleaner and it started, we got some heat into everything, it started laying a lot better. So definitely very usable. That is my other machine that how my welds normally look, which they're not great at all, but not bad. Again, I think I have probably about 6 years on this machine of fine tuning and figuring it out. This one I have maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes on it. So not bad right out the box. I think that right there is enough to show you that this machine does work. It will definitely lay a weld down if you clean your metal up and use proper prep. Man, that's actually not bad at all. Proper prep, then it will definitely do a better job versus this garbage over here, which is welding on absolute trash. But if you are stuck somewhere and you can't clean the metal up and you're maybe out in the field working on some old equipment or something, it will do it straight over the rust and everything with the flux wire. Also sheet metal, you definitely want to take your time, weld slower than what I did for this demonstration because you will warp it. And you should definitely clean it and all that stuff up and play around with the settings on some scrap. But you can also put sheet metal together. This is, I'm pretty sure, 18 gauge. This is what we're doing all the patch panels with on the Plymouth behind us that we are chopping on this channel. Again, I'm satisfied with that. I mean, if I had to weld with this thing, I could definitely make it happen. How long will it last long term? I have no clue. I've got 15 minutes on this machine. It's been out the box for 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. A little bit of time and you can make this machine work for you. Now, what I'm gonna do for you is I'm actually gonna give this machine away to one of my viewers. So like I said, I have 5 welding machines and I don't need another small one. I have 2 compact welders just like this at my shop. One I did the review on in previous videos, like I said, and the other one I purchased from Harbor Freight. I don't need this little one at the house. It doesn't do the 023 wire like I prefer to use on these projects with the sheet metal. So there's no reason to me hoarding it on. I might as well pass it on to a viewer as a thank you. So I'm gonna put the date on the bottom of the screen of when I'm gonna do the giveaway right now. All I need you to do is comment on this video and say that you would like to have this welder, that you would love to have this welder, that you would like to be entered into a chance to get this welder, that you would love to have the opportunity to win this welder. Something to make it very, very clear to me that you would like this welder. Now, if you comment on it and you say nice welder, looks good, I may buy one. you're not entered into the drawing. The reason why is because we're going to go back to this video and we are going to use a online program to do an automatic drawing off the comment. So if your comment comes up and your comment does not very clearly tell me that you want a chance to win this welder, then we're going to go on to the next one, because I do have people that comment on this that, you know, might just say nice product or whatever like that. So please, again, make it very clear that you would like to win this welder. No purchase necessary. I will get this thing boxed up and send it out to one of my viewers. We're going to do this drawing pretty fast because I want the regulars on the channels that watch all my content to win this and be able to win this. And I'm not trying to have this giveaway go on forever and do this to gain subs or anything like this. I kind of want to do this as a give back, a thank you to the guys that regularly review my videos as soon as they're posted. So that's why this giveaway window is going to be so short. It's going to give you time to watch the video, and then we're going to pull the trigger on this thing. Make sure your notifications are turned on and you smash that subscribe button, because that is how you will catch stuff like this, versus if you wait for the algorithm to feed you the video. It could be a week old, 2 weeks old, or 3 weeks old, and then you would have missed the window to get a free welder absolutely with no purchase necessary. Thanks, y'all. Thanks to Bestarc for sending me out this welder to give a try. Hopefully we can try more products in the future, and I'll catch y'all on a future video. Thanks.